So yes, both of these players won their first match and are now, this should be legendary. Somebody knows that Luca is also a streamer, so this is me, shout out to fellow streamer Luca, or Legend VD on Twitch. If you are interested in watching way better content than you're getting here, definitely follow that channel. Should be a lot of fun though. But let's switch out of these horrible low budget camera and move into the medium budget camera for the actual overview. Do any of these have something really awesome, cool in their deck? Dismantling Blow, Martyr Soul in Michael's deck. So looking for some tokens. Double Vesper Lark as well. Wing Shards could be quite the blowout in some turns. Double Fairy Seer Ikite. Double Moonblade Shinobi and triple Phantom Ninja. So a bit of a evasive plan going on as well. Reign of Revelation, Soul Herder, Unsettled Mariner or Mariner, however you want to call that. So nothing crazy from Michael, but solid strategy it looks like. For Luca we have Answered Prayers, Battle Screech, Enduring Sliver, Giver of Runes, Knight of Old Benalia. So a lot of smaller utility cards. Plays Shelter as a combat trick, so might have been a bit pinched on interaction there. And his red is a pretty minor part, which features a bit of removal, Pyrophobia, Urza's Rage. So let's see how this matches actually unravel as we go into round 2 of Belgian National Championships with the Modern Horizons draft and the mulligan. Unfortunat. So, blue-white deck, mulligans down to 5, as we have Michael Milis, pretty much I would almost say a former Grand Prix and Magic Fest grinder. He's been a bit less active lately, but he used to be very much in that community, very active with Belgic Magic as well. So gets a bit of a shout out here. Luca, I think the biggest Belgian Magic streamer there is. So again, if you are looking for a streamer to follow, I would definitely recommend him. I think they're waiting upstairs to be allowed to start, which isn't supposed to happen.
Feature match mag starten.
So let's give them, let's start them a separate clock, just to make sure things are fair. Jona?
Die heb ik gesneden, maar ik weet niet waar ze zijn, ja.
Ik heb een timer gestart, moest dit relevant zijn voor hun. Oké. And the bladeback sliver, ha! I already knew, it seems. And the shelter already being used to good effect here. Oh no, too many shelter cards. By Luca van Deun. Squeezes the card advantage out of Michael Milis' 2-drop. And we get a Seer. Pre-recorded, yeah. Totally pre-recorded. Would be so much easier to have the card viewer if it were actually pre-recorded. So Fairy Seer against a bladeback sliver. Luca is the one on the play here, and currently quite in the driver's seat. Answered Prayers. It's a card that a lot of people, including myself, underestimated when the format first came out, and it turns out it's actually sort of format defining for the white color. Esper Lark for Michael. Trying to go for the skies. It looks like this will be a lot more interactive and methodical match than the previous one we saw, where we saw the scorching fires of Chris van der Wouwer dispatching Amma. Changeling cohort for Luca, further developing his board. Oh, apparently that's called different. Is it irregular cohort? Ah, it's and coming in swinging. As our players are struggling a little bit with the life total panel. We had a little tablet for it, but it went actually looking forward to the Pioneer matches. I think that goes for most people. I mean, Modern Horizon, it's cool and interesting, but let's just say it as it is. It's a bit outdated at this point, and Pioneer is the hot new thing. So Michael flashing in, no, ninjutsuing in the Shinobi, and then replace the Fairy Seer. It's to do some scrying. I'm not sure what the token is. I think I missed what that is. That's what you get for looking away to operate the card viewer. And without the graveyard in play, I'm also not sure why the answered prayers have gone 1/1 from Shinobi. I've got the wrong Shinobi on my screen. That's it. It's the other Shinobi. There we go. Moonblade Shinobi. That's what confused me. I was like, what was bounced? Why is the token still there? Confusal abound. Okay, that was... What's that card? Oh, Battle Screech. I don't know that art. Got double blocked and the Seer got returned from the Veil Leaf Trader. Ah, okay. So Battle Screech makes 4 1/1 bird tokens. So the magic card backs are bird tokens. The white squares are the changeling tokens on Luca's side, and a 1/1. I think it's a flying spirit on the other side. I love how clear and representative this format is. Luca is the aggressor in this match, and with that army of flyers looking poised to take more than enough advantage to control the match here, Michael has that wing shards in his hand, but with this amount of tokens I don't think it's going to be making that much of an impact. So Seer and Shinobi Spirit token are blocking, and we still have the Bladeback Sliver that was off camera there for a bit. Now they stop being attacking creatures, so the Wing Shard doesn't do anything anymore. Okay, and we get... I keep forgetting the name of the draw spell. Reign of Revelation, I think it is. That's the thing. And the rain reveals that it is time to scoop up the cards and go to game 2. Again, we see the more aggressive excuse me, the more aggressive player taking game 1, just like last match. For all the cool things you can do in Modern Horizon, it's all about the aggro. Apparently I said something really funny. Alexa 666. Feel free to elaborate. And also welcome to everybody. I hope you are enjoying the content that we are bringing today. Feel free to interact in the chat for any questions, suggestions, wishes and desires, so I can ignore most of them because they're completely unfeasible. We have sideboarding, Luca going for 2 cards. Michael seems like he's trying to make space for 4 cards here. So let's have a look at what Luca has hiding in his sideboard. I don't really see something. A wall of 1,000 cuts, maybe. Does that have flying? Because they might want to have a little bit more interaction. Yeah, a little bit more interaction in the air against what he's seen up to now. Other than that, I don't see. The lava dart. Yeah, I think we've seen him side in the lava dart. Removes 2 utility creatures, and with the shinobi and the token and some other things that we've already seen, it might be a very strategical card. Put players' record behind their name. That's a good idea. I can do that. Currently, that's pretty straightforward, so let me just enable your desires for a change. Pew! There we go. And then Luca is a 1-0 as well. But then I'll need to slide them over, because this software for some reason doesn't do my alignment to the right correctly. We'll just cut this out in post-production, don't worry. There we go. Luca also a 1-0. And we also know which round we're in. Yeah, good point. So for those of you still wondering and failing to be able to deduct it, we are in round 2. The second of 3 rounds of Modern Horizon Draft. After that we'll have 4 rounds of juicy Pioneer play. And then of course a top 8 with more Pioneer. This time it is Luca's turn to mulligan. Michael mulligan in the previous match, previous game. But he's up on 1 game, so probably not feeling too shabby. Also, will be drawing that extra card from going second this game, so he's not as far behind as Milis was. But he is the aggro deck, of course. Very reliant on curving and card quality. Or at least card quality in function of mana. Looks like he has a mix of land and spells. And had a very straightforward decision on what should go to the bottom. And we are underway with a game 2. Flasha, welcome. And a giver of runes as the first non-land on the table. Something funky is happening with my keyboard here. There we go, that's better. Okay. It's the aunt. Mother of runes. This is auntie of runes. I can live with that. Aunt of runes. And we'll be facing off against a Vesperlark. So not too much happening yet. And we have a, I think that's pyrophobia. What am I doing? Pyrophobia. And getting rid of the Vesper Lark, keeping the pressure on with the unrelenting Giver of Runes. Not Stepmom. Michael gets to scry the top 2 cards of his deck. Looking for some interaction, because at this point it's been quite uneventful. Again, has that wing shards lying in a wait. Michael hoping for a hasty creature here. That will be very interesting. And is he getting his wish? Which sliver is that? Is that Cleaving Sliver? It is. I'm such a card connoisseur. Shinobi again. But let's get the correct one out this time. Where is he? No. Moonblade. Moonblade Shinobi and his spiritual body. Oh. Not sure. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay. Yes, let's adjust the life totals so we know as well. Thank you very much, Michael. A true friend of the stream. Urza's Rage, the overkill. To get rid of a ninja. I guess Urza doesn't like ninjas, and the Cleaving Sliver comes in for some damage. A Bladeback Sliver. As we've seen in the previous match, quite important in having that late game finisher in these red based aggro decks. It looks so unassuming, but a 2/2 for 2 with an ability that can finish games, pretty nice. In the meantime, the chat is discussing the family tree of the Runes family, and according to most people, Giver of Runes couldn't be the auntie because she's too young. Well, most people, there's 3 discussing, and one of them says so. So that's a sizable part. Back to the game. Michael staying on the offensive with his flying. No, that's tapped for a Martyr of Souls.
Ja, dat was inderdaad wat.
I'm not sure why he seems to be paying extra mana from time to time. I'm a bit confused there. Sliver's quite powerful here with the Cleaving Sliver, giving everyone +2. So both are 4/2s coming in. In the meantime, the discussion moved to Teferi manipulating the age of anti-runes. As Michael is contemplating how to approach this combat step. Keep in mind he has that wing shards in his hand. Chooses to block the blade back, which will get protection from white, and then the wing shards in response to sacrifice 1 creature. Luca choosing to push through 4 damage. rather than having his blade back on the board and killing that martyr soul. It's an interesting decision. Michael keeps poking in through the skies. And plays a, I think that's a Phantom Ninja. What's it called? Yeah, Phantom Ninja. As a follow-up. So more hard to block cards, and having that Martyr's Soul available to do some blocking duties. And again, I think that a double block? Yeah, that was a double block on the sliver. Michael packing in for more unblockable damage, plays another Phantom Ninja. So suddenly he took over the driver's seat, put Luca on in the baby seat in the back, and Luca needs to rebuild. It's an enduring sliver for him. Not as impressive as the cleaving variant when you need to come back. Not very interesting against a bunch of evasive creatures either. Yeah, our camera is on the first floor, which can shake a bit when people go to the toilet, so I apologize for the seasickness that might be induced. Mist Syndicate Naga for Michael. No, apparently not. Does anyone recognize the cards? Interesting take on 2 shakes. Hey, you know what they say? If you do it more, you're playing with yourself. Windcaller Avon, that's the one. Luca putting in the effort to make sure life totals are visible. Yeah, that's also the edge of the table, so if they push it further, things just fall to the floor. Some thought went into that. And we have an attack with the Enduring Sliver after... is it Knight of Old Benalia? I think it is. For Luca. And again we have the Moonblade Shinobi, and Luca scoops them up, sees the writing on the wall. I don't think he was dead from this attack, but figures he wouldn't have survived the second one, and we even out the match at 1-1. Going back to their sideboards, Luca has a little look. Michael fans out 3 cards again. I'll be curious to see what his plan is there. Vesper Lark going out, proving that it is not pulling its weight. And we hit the cap of 40 viewers. Congratulations, and thank you everybody for spending your time with me. Again, if you have any questions, remarks, desires or wishes, put them in the chat so we can ignore everything you ask for. It's an important part of interaction. Apparently, Gentle Muffin, you have a new tag thingy. I didn't know they updated it. Gentle Muffin, our longest running subscriber. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Michael doing some extensive sideboarding, making it harder for me to guess which card is actually entering the battlefield. Yeah, exactly. We're in lunchtime and we haven't gotten to the good stuff yet. So having 40 viewers at this point is pretty bonkers. Let's go for 100 people. Get your friends, call your wives. Explain to everybody how to make a Twitch account and get them involved. Let's make this a party. Show WotC they should bring back nationals and have me stream them, because I'm very good at talking a lot of crap while I wait for people to finish sideboarding and getting to game 3. Alright, 1 presented deck, 1 alive total being readjusted. I really should get that tablet back. Wives plural? Well, yes. We're open-minded here. Come on, get this 2019 still. I have to support 3 families, all the wives. Let's embed the stream in some ads on popular gaming sites. That seems to be par for the course these days. Ah, yes. If anyone has a marketing budget on the site that they haven't used yet, feel free to splurge it on us. We're famous and we need to get bigger. Or so. I don't know. Having fun though. If you're almost as handsome, other streamer half is not there. No clue who we're talking about. Okay, then we're on the way. End of yollygagging. Start the strategy. Fairy Seer smooths out Michael's draws for the next turn. Forgot how to talk for a second there. Advantage bar mildly to the left. Pyrohemia takes care of the problem. Advantage neutral. Pyrophobia, not pyrohemia. Pyrohemia is would be also strong. 2019, but husbands aren't mentioned. True. I was still memeing. It's mean hide your wives, hide your kids. Okay, advantage. Luca, he has something. I don't know what that is though. If somebody recognizes it, otherwise I'm just going to cycle through all the red cards until I find something. Hollow head sliver is going to be my first guess. And the guess was correct. Okay, Vesper Lark on the other side of the table. Hide your stash. Irregular cohort. Advantage. Luca. If I'm gonna have to do an advantage switch every time somebody plays a card, I'm going to be exhausted though. So let's focus on what's really important. Luca has been defined as the aggressor in this matchup, as his colors may have made you assume at this point. A red-white has the pump available to him, more cheap creatures, and can go white easier with irregular cohorts and a battle screech, where Milis is very much focused on the trixies, the interactions, reusing enters the battlefield triggers through ninjutsu and the soul herder, as we see here. So Luca is kind of put on the spot to finish earlier, faster, because in the ultra super late game it's going to be more difficult for Luca to find a win than it will be for Michael, who is going to be digging. This game gonna be real tough. I think it's going to be the best game we had already. It's a lot more balanced so far, though that would favor Michael at this point. Unless Luca pulls some bonkers out of the hat that we haven't seen him do yet. He has some card selection with the hollow head sliver. That is helping him at this point. But will he find enough gas? Gas. Okay, in comes the 2/2 changeling. goes for a life total as we equalize. Okay, and that's the, what's it called, the banishing thingy. No, I have no idea what that card was. Settle beyond reality, was that it? It looked like something that would be a settle. Oh. If you can figure out the name based on the feel that the art gives you. Misty Naga. As Milis is still trying to find that footing. Fairy Seer comes back, scries for another 2. But at this point it is Luca who gets to be on the offensive. Not sure what the token is. I assume it is a 1/1 flying spirit. Ah no, it's a yeah, it's the Mist Syndicate Naga, of course. For a common, the fairy is doing good work. Yep, it's really strong. Especially if you manage to reuse the ability a bunch of times. But will the Naga proliferate ad infinitum? I've seen a lot of matches end purely on the back of this card. Luca keeping back 2 defenders, which is a bit of a risk with the Naga, but it looks like Michael will be using one of the copies to trade in. So 1 blocker left for the 1 Naga. And as a follow-up, we have the, what's his face, Lava Belly Sliver. That should keep the Naga under control with another blade back sliver. Ah, it doesn't ping creature. I thought it pinged creatures. No, okay. So Luca has advantage on the board in life totals, but not in hand. Shinobi again reusing that fairy. It's been doing work here. Yep, erasing will be very hard for Michael to do. With the life gain provided by the Lava Belly. The irregular cohort and an enduring sliver are waiting in Luca's hand. That's another 3 triggers from the Lava Belly. And if he does manage to empty his hand out, then all his slivers will get the blade back sliver ability to finish off.
Ja, inderdaad. Hij maakt standings kapot.
So Luca probably will be looking. Luca will be looking into emptying that hand, getting hellbent. In the meantime, has to maximize that advantage he has. Michael, recognizing the finishing power on the blade back, chooses to take that one out. And we have an irregular cohort bringing 2 triggers with it from the Lava Belly sliver. At this point it looks like a very dedicated sliver deck. 6 mana for Michael. Not sure what that is though. Is that Wings of Abandon? Yeah, chat knew it as well. What? Wings? Ah, winds of abandon. No, what's going on? Everything's falling apart. Chat, help! There we go. We should have it now. A lot happened. Overloaded, wings of abandon. Exile all the creatures. Advantage swinging back to Michael's side. Luca only has one card in hand, and we know that's the Enduring Sliver. On top of that, we have the Syndicate making a copy of itself. The Shinobi making another little spirit booger. And at this point, I'm hard pressed to imagine seeing Luca find a way to dig himself back into... Oh no, the Enduring Sliver had been played already. Ow. Draws another land. Urza's Rage off the top. Oh yeah, he actually does have the Urza's Rage in deck. So that is an option. Swings for 8, and apparently the life totals on screen were not up to date. That means that Michael wins 2-1 of the Winds of Abandon, as we still see on the screen.